recently heard a pastor talk about Joseph as the evil stepfather. And it made me think that, a lot of things have been said and used in the Bible, but nobody's ever really, thought about that side. Not really, because there's not that much. It doesn't seem there's that much said about this one. What do we know? An older man supposedly married a younger woman, found out she was pregnant. Instead of doing what the people of his time did, casting her out, she would have been stoned to death. He decided that he loved her enough that he was going to protect her, shield her, put her away quietly. And then he gets this message that he's supposed to raise this kid. He loves this woman, he's supposed to raise this kid. This is all. It's going to be alright. Okay. He does that. He's a good man. So Jesus is born into a house where the people love, respect. Now, if you go for the story, I'm not going to go into the shepherds right now, but if you go to the story with the Magi actually are kind of like, think about this. These guys are so hung up on this star and what it means. They go to the most lunatic despot in history about killing people, and they say, "Hi, we think we found a new king, and we're so excited about this star and what it means and everything, so we're going to go find it." And he says, "Yeah, sure, go find it for me." And so they go and talk to Joseph, and they give him these presents. And then one of them, like all scientists and other types of, they say, "Oh, by the way, there might be a downside to us showing up." So they split. They tell Joseph what's going on. They split. Now Joseph, it says an angel came to him and told him to split. Listen, these guys told him that they had told Herod that his son may be the future king, and Joseph knows what Herod does to his own family. Joseph's a smart man. Now here's where it comes in kind of strange. He had all this money, according to this, and he goes to Egypt. He gets on the camel trip. Now, if he's a good man and a smart man, he takes the money and invests it. Personally, I think he was a pretty smart fella. And he came into Egypt a contractor, not a grunt. Now, I know that may not sound like a lot to some people, but if you show up with nothing but your tools, you're a laborer. If you show up with the money and the equipment to hire laborers, you're a contractor, and you are treated different by the community. Believe me, it's the truth. Anyhow, he goes to Alexandria. He raised, or where someplace in Egypt, with a Jewish community. He shows up as the guy just fresh from Jerusalem in the Jewish community. He makes his contacts. He uses his skills from the temple training and all of that to work his way in. He spends some time working with the Romans and the Greeks and everybody else that are working in Egypt, and he learns all these new skills, and he's got the money to hire the people to teach him or the people to do stuff for him. And Herod dies, he comes back, he brings his wife back, and he's got some more kids. He's just about 7 years old. He's just becoming old enough to be a gopher. You know what I mean? Here, go get my hammer, go get the nails, go get the saw, go get, one of those. Anyway, Jesus grows up watching his father. His father goes to live in Nazareth. He's got this building thing going on in Caesarea. That's where most of the labor was being done at the time. He's got the skills that he learned in Egypt. He knows how to deal with the Romans. He knows how to deal with the Greeks. He's used to the slaves. Jesus is running around watching all of this. Growing up, watching his father, how to handle people, how to deal with people as a businessman. He learns the business from the ground up, literally. That's the way it works. And his little brothers are coming up behind him. Hey, this one's in charge of that section, and this one's in charge of that section, and as you get older, you get more responsibility. So by the time Jesus grows this up, Joseph's got a nice little construction crew going here. And when he passes on, that's what he leaves his family. Jesus is the head of a nice little construction crew, able to care for his mother. Hey, he even gets some time off to go listen to his cousin preach, that kind of thing. He's got some money. He didn't have to sweat that hard. He worked, but he just, what I'm saying. The other time they talk about Joseph is when he was in Jerusalem. Jesus was 13 years old, wanders off. Believe me, I'm a father. I know how that works. Okay. Joseph leaves his kids with family and friends on the caravan and goes back to Jerusalem and hunts all over town for this kid. It shows love. It shows concern. By that time, he'd grown to love the child. So there it is. It says that Jesus doesn't say a lot about Joseph, but the Bible doesn't say a lot about Joseph. I think that writers of the Bible might have wanted to diminish the role of his earthly father. I mean, I can understand that. That's their thing. But I think that every time that you hear Jesus talk about Father's love and how a good father acts, if you listen real quietly, you can hear the echo that Joseph said.